Welcome to the Passionate Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. There is a Ravelry group for the podcast. Please come over and join, and thank you so much for being here. This is not a regular episode of my podcast. This is a bonus episode that I talked about last time with all my planned sweaters. So I have a lot of stuff around me and I have a lot of things to talk about. But the first thing I want to talk about is our next VKN, the Virtual Knit Night. We had the first one last Saturday. We're going to have another one this Saturday. So in 2 days on February the 10th at 9 p.m. GMT +1. That's my time zone. It's Berlin time. If you want to do the math, I only know 2 other time zones that I can tell you. So it's going to be Sunday 11th morning at 9 a.m. for New Zealand. And it's going to be Saturday the 10th at 12 p.m. for the Pacific Northwest. And we're going to have the second VKN. And after that, I want to be doing this on a regular basis and probably bi-weekly. So I will put the information in the VKN thread on the Ravelry group. Please go there to check everything out. And I'm going to explain there how to join the VKN. So now, if you're not interested in my sweater plans, see you next time. If you are, get something to drink. This is going to take a while. I have gathered all the things around me, and it's a lot. So, and most of those are fingering weight as well. So yeah, you know, these will probably last for the next 5 or 6 years. And I just love planning. I love planning. It's going to show. So the first thing I'm going to show you is already in a project bag ready to go. It's this project bag that I made for myself recently. And it is the Ravello sweater by Isabel Krämer. She's a German designer. This is the sweater. And I have 2 plans for this sweater. I'm going to show the other yarn later when I get to the bag. And the yarns that I have chosen for this are these 2 little leftover skeins from Kunterbunte Wolle. She's a friend of mine. 1 skein of fibrous spades and 2 full skeins of Kunterbunte Wolle. So this is going to be my Ravello sweater. And this will go on my needles very soon because I have everything ready to go. And I have everything ready to go for all of these, but this is in a project bag and this I've wanted to knit forever. So I am going to cast it on really soon. And yeah, I'm also not going to take out all of the yarn for everything. We'll get to that. So yes, the Ravello in the project bag ready to go will go on the needles really soon. And then I'm going to continue over here. I have 3 things planned from the Interweave Knits magazine summer 2013. First of all is this sweater from the front. And as I have all of these things planned with yarn that I had in my stash, I have to change a lot of things for most of these. So this one is a Doctor Who bag that I received in a swap. I don't have enough yarn for this the way it is. So what I'm going to do, I found some cotton and cotton linen, and that is just, I have not a lot of this stuff in my stash at all. So this is going to be the main color. It's Katia linen. This is the yarn, and this will be the main color for this. For the stripes, I'm going to use this. It is a Bändchen gun. I have no idea what the name is in English. It's 100% cotton, I think. And it is Barolo from Schöller und Stahl, and it's discontinued, has been discontinued forever. And for the lace up here, I'm going to use this. This is another colorway of the brown yarn, and it is this teal. So these 3 will become this top. I mean, I have more of the yarns in my bag, but not enough to make it as it is shown. but I will make it work because yardage wise, I do have enough. I just don't have enough of the single colors. And I might be able to knit the lace with the brown as well and not use the teal at all. But I don't know that yet. I'm going to find out as soon as I reach the point where you add in the lace. So this is the first thing from this magazine that I want to make. I have to just put things back in here. I have 4 skeins of the main color and 2 each of those. So I think I have definitely enough yarn, just not enough in the colors to make it as it's written. And the other thing from the magazine that I really want to make is a cardigan for my husband. We've been together for a long time now. And so far I've knit him 2 garments. I've knit him a sweater and 1 cardigan. And he wears the cardigan a lot. So I decided to make him another cardigan. And it is this one here. It looks like this from the front. The back is fully striped and in garter stitch, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to knit the back. This is the only picture of the back. So you can't really say what it looks like. I'm going to substitute the yarn, of course, because, you know, I'm going to use what I have. And I bought yarn for him, for a sweater, 10 years ago, when we were in San Francisco together for the first time. So I have 8 skeins of Lamb's Pride worsted in this charcoal gray. And to go with this, for the stripy part, I have 3 skeins of Noroku rayon. And we selected these together for a sweater for him because he loves color. He doesn't mind color at all. And I think I should have enough because I'm not going to do the fully striped back. I'm going to knit the back in stockinette stitch. And if I should not have enough, I also have 2 skeins of the Lamb's Pride worsted in the lighter gray. So I'm just going to knit the collar and some things on the pockets or on the sleeves with this as well to make it work. So this is the yarn that I have put aside for this sweater. It's the same weight as the pattern calls for, just a different brand yarn. So this is not hard to do, you know. I just select the size that I need for my husband and get going. Also with this, for the color, the cover sweater, it's the same yarn weight, so no math. Ooh, I just started, I already have fluff in my mouth. Wonderful. And the third thing from in here is somewhere in there. I'm gonna talk about it when I get there. So yes, this is the first thing. And the next thing where I have a million things planned from is the first Len magazine. I don't know how to say it. I'm just gonna go with Len. It's the Len magazine. And the first thing I'm going to cast on really soon that I have in my basket ready to go is the cover sweater. It's called Nook with a W. I mean, not a W, it's 2 U's. And I think it's the only one that I have not marked. Yes, it's this sweater here. And I'm going to knit this out of handspun. This is my handspun yarn. It is a traditional 3-ply. And it's about a DK weight. The pattern is for a worsted. And I'm very short on yarn for this. I checked the size that I need to knit for myself, and I need 620 meters. That's what the pattern calls for. My handspun is 627 meters. So I'm going to make this work. It's a top-down raglan as far as I checked the pattern. So I'm just gonna either shorten the body or shorten the sleeves, but this will work, I'm sure. It's also a bit thinner than the pattern calls for, but it has built-in ease, so I'm not concerned about it. I'm just gonna go for my size, and you know, it's a top-down raglan. I can always just try it on and decide to do more increases. So yeah, this is the first one where I have to put a little bit of thinking in because the weight is a bit different, and also I just do not have a whole lot of yarn for this. So yeah, keep your fingers crossed for me, because this is also my Revelenic Games project that I'm going to knit. And I'm going to cast on this Friday, because this Friday the Olympic Games start. So yes. Okay, now I have to get to this. I have more things planned from the first Len magazine. So first up is the Lanes. I think it's called Lanes. It's by Jorge Locatelli. It's a cardigan. And I have yarn for this in this bag. So what I will do from now on, I'm going to show you my bag and I'm going to show you how I have things planned. I got these from IKEA because they are the cheapest Ziploc bags that you can get in Germany. And they are good. You know, they're sturdy, they close really tightly, and they are nice and big. So what I do, they have this little pattern on them, which, you know, it's just on one side. So on the side where no pattern is, I have the actual pattern of the sweater. And on the other side, I have the yarn. So I can just take out one bag, I have the yarn and the pattern ready to go. So for the Lanes cardigan by Jorge Locatelli, I'm going to use this hand-dyed yarn from my friend Sandra from Kunte Bunte Wolle. And this is a merino and yak DK weight. And I have 4 skeins in a variegated yarn and 1 skein in a semi-solid that goes with these. So I'm going to knit all the ribbing in this skein and do the rest of the cardigan in this yarn. I think one of my cats wants in, but I'm not going to let him in. So this is the second project that I have planned from the Lane magazine. Now, there's more. This whole little thing here is full of Len magazine. Next up is this dress. I think it's called Comadre. It's a cabled dress, short sleeves, and I have yarn for it. It is Rowan Pure Wool Superwash DK. And I have 2 of these bags. I have 15 skeins of this yarn for this dress. And no, it's called Ancasta. I'm sorry. I said that wrong. It's the Ancasta by My UKP. It's the cabled dress from the first Len magazine. I have 15 skeins of this yarn. It's a nice dusty pink. So you're going to see that all the sweaters I'm going to knit are very different. I do not have a specific color palette. Although I love every autumnal color on planet Earth, I knit with everything. So that's the second project. The third one that I have planned from in here is The Piece of Silver by Vera Valmäki. I'm already knitting a version of it right now in a fade. And I'm going to knit a second version out of this yarn from Creatina Bloom that I got for myself for my birthday. And there's no pattern in here because I'm using the pattern already right now for my first version. And I just think that this sweater, it's a beautiful sweater. It's slightly cropped and I have gotten into the habit of wearing a lot of skirts. So I think that the style of the sweater and the way it fits will look great. Will look great with the Hollyburn skirt that I love so much. So I'm going to make more of this sweater in the future. So this is going to be another version of the Piece of Silver sweater. And I have one more here to show. And it is the Winterly by Suvi Simola. It looks like this. And my version is going to be very different because I have selected my colors. Again, pattern. I copied the pattern out of the magazine so I can mark my size and write in every notes that I need to write in. And my version will look like this. Now these 2 are from Shankly's. I'm not even sure if that shop still exists, but they are 50-gram skeins of sock yarn in a nice yellow, and I love yellow with brown in it. And these 2 skeins down here are Wollmeise, and they're the colorway Resi, which is my actual name. And they are dark browns with grays and blacks. So it's very much my color as well. So this will make a Winterly for me with the yellow in the yoke and the dark color down the bottom. Yeah, I think this was going to go on the needles really soon because I just love the color combination. When I found this color combination, I found a second one which had the exact same yarn for the yoke as the pattern calls for, which is Bar and U Titus in the exact same colorway. I have this skein, and I found 2 more Wollmeise skeins to go with it in a different shade of blue, and I might make that in the future because, you know, a blue sweater and this sweater very different from each other. So I might make this twice. I don't know yet. And that is it from Len magazine. And that is it for this little basket. So I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to try to get rid of it. Okay, good. Now, everything else is just separate stuff. Now, oops. In a project bag, ready to go. This is my Beauty and the Beast project bag that I think I bought from Lone Star Arts. I have to see. Yes, it's from Lone Star Arts. She's on Etsy. And this is the wonderful project bag that I bought from her because I love the Beauty and the Beast. And it's gigantic. It holds a sweater. And I'm going to knit the same but different. But that is the name of the pattern. It looks like this. It is a cardigan. And I'm going to knit this cardigan. It's another fingering weight sweater, you know, because that seems to be my thing. And I'm going to do this as a fade in 4 different yarns that I'm going to take all out because I want to show you. I think this is correct. So these are the 4 yarns that I have selected. They're all green speckles. And this is enough for the long sleeve cardigan. So I will not run out of yarn. I do not have to substitute anything. So far, this is going to be an easy thing with my sweaters. It's going to change. So yeah, this is, like I said, in a project bag, ready to go. So it will be cast on relatively soon. And I look very forward to this. I think this could be a wardrobe staple that you know, one of these cardigans that you just want to have in a million colors to go with everything. So I hope this will be nice to knit up. So that's in here. And then in the Interweave Knits Fall 2009 magazine, and I of course didn't mark anything because, you know, that would mean preparing stuff. There was a wonderful tunic, and it is this tunic here. And I really like the style of this. So I decided to make it out of different yarn because this sweater, the pattern calls for Schoppelwolle Alpaca Naturbelassen, and the yarn is discontinued. And I did have some in my stash, but I used it for a cardigan last year, so I cannot use the original yarn. So what I decided to do is, I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm 50% sure that I'm going to use the Barocco Vintage Chunky in a golden brown colorway. I also have some other Schoppel yarn downstairs that I could use for it, but I'm not sure yet. So this is a plan, this tunic out of this yarn, because it's a chunky weight. So the weight is the same, but the yarn itself is very different because the Schoppel yarn that they used in the original is a single and it's felted. It's very nice to work with. It feels great when you wear it. And this is not. This is a normal yarn. So yeah, I'm not sure yet if I want to do it with this or with the other yarn that I have. I'm leaning towards this because the other yarn is a multi-variegated, and I don't think that will fit the style, but I'm not sure yet. And also in here is the Tegan by Justina Lokowska. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is what it looks like. It's an oversized sweater out of fingering weight yarn, and I am going to use Zauberball. But the Zauberball that I'm going to use, I got this at the outlet store at the fabric. No, not fabric. Fabric is a German word. Fabrik is a German word, and it means the word that I never get in my head. When you manufacture things, what's the word? company, maybe. I just can't remember. So yeah, this is the 6-ply, which is supposed to be a DK weight, and it definitely isn't. I'm gonna say maybe a heavy fingering weight, but the Zauberball yarn is very, very thin. And yeah, so this is what I will use, and I'm probably just gonna go down one size to make it a bit smaller so that my thicker yarn will end up being the size that I want it to be. And I have 2 more skeins of this, so if these are not enough, I have enough to make it work. So yeah, and it's an oversized sweater, you know. I always figure when it's oversized, does it really matter if it's 5 or 6 inches too big? No. So I'm gonna make this out of the Zauberball 6-ply. And I do not know the colorway name because it doesn't say, I think. Nope, it doesn't. At least not where I can see it. So yeah, that is another plan. I originally had planned to make this for Edinburgh Yarn Fest, and that's not going to happen because Edinburgh Yarn Fest is in a month, and I'm not going to knit this in a month. So I have different plans for Edinburgh. This will be worn at Edinburgh. I hope. I hope I will. So good. I have one more basket and then 2 big boxes full of stuff. So let's go through the basket first. In here, the first thing is the Mint Lotus by Annie Lupton. I have knit her Carytown sweater last year, and I wore that for Edinburgh Yarn Fest, and I loved it so much. But this sweater is a lace weight sweater. Yeah. So far, you've seen a ton of fingering weight, 1 chunky, and a worsted, and then DK. And now it's lace. So what I'm going to knit this with is Wollmeise lace. I have this one gigantic skein of yarn in here, and Wollmeise lace skeins have over 1,500 yards. So this one skein of yarn is enough to knit the whole sweater, and this sweater is just beautiful. The only thing that's, you know, not so great about it is I'm going to have to start on US 2 needles. That's, you know, very thin. But I love the sweater, and I think, you know, the thinner the sweater, the more often I can wear it, because it does get really cold here. But I run very hot, so I don't really need a whole lot of very thick sweaters. So yeah, this is going to be amazing. Also in my basket here is the Granito by Joji Locatelli. And I'm going to knit this out of Malabrigo sock. I have 4 skeins of it. Colorway is Archangel, which is my favorite Malabrigo colorway. And I have enough for the pattern as it's written. So there's no math included, no substitution of anything. So this is going to be started sometime in the next 10 years. Then finally, another worsted weight sweater. I have in here the Staccato Hoodie pattern, and I have 7 skeins of handspun yarn, and they all have a pinkish purple wipe to them. I never realized that I have so many pink purple yarns in my handspun stash, but I do have all of these, or yeah, I had all of these in my stash. Now they're in the back, ready to go, ready to make this hoodie, and I look very much forward to it. So it also will be a nice break from all the fingering weight sweaters. This will just probably just zoom and fly and be done. It's the second handspun sweater in my plans. Okay. Then, still no mathing. I have the Window to My Soul, and I folded it that way because you can see a bit of it. It's a lace weight up at lace pattern up the top and stockinette at the bottom. It's another Joji Locatelli pattern, and the yarn that I have selected for this is this wonderful yarn that my friend Barbara from Almrauschwolle dyed for me. And I think this is going to be very nice for summer because it's short sleeved and it's, you know, fingering weight, so it's nice and thin, and you can just throw it on top of a t-shirt when it's not super warm but not cold. And yeah, I have enough yarn again, but I'm going to change things about this sweater anyway because the bottom is, you know, after the lace, I'm not sure if it's top down or bottom up, but below the lace, there are a million more stitches, so it's very poofy, and I'm gonna change that a bit to make it more fitted, because I just think that that is not very much my style. You know, I like oversized, but I don't like not oversized and then boom. I just feel like that's just makes me look pregnant, and I don't want to do that. So this is going to be a summer knit. Then I have two skeins very down at the bottom. This is 100% silk from my friend Sandra from Kunterbunte Wolle. And I am going to make another short-sleeved cropped cardigan out of this. And I'm going to use the Persuading Chain cardigan pattern by Megan something, I think. I'm not sure right now. But I knit the Persuading Jane cardigan last year, and I had 2 skeins of sock yarn to start with, and I had a half skein left. It's the 2 mini skeins that I have set aside for the Ravello. And I'm going to do the pattern just for the numbers. I want to have it a bit longer, so it goes like 5 centimeters or 2 inches further down than my waist is. And yeah, I'm just going to use these 2 for a very cropped, short-sleeved summer cardigan, because it's, like I said, 100% silk. And the last thing in here is these 6 skeins of fingering weight yarn. They are all a tweed base. They are all from the same dyer. I have 2 that are the same color and 4 different ones. I chose these to be another fade project, and I'm going to do the Laneway Dress by Vera Valanacki, which is an Interpretations Volume 1 that I have also stuck in here. I have to take out to show you. It's this dress. I'm going to do this dress with this yarn as a fade. And I have 6 skeins of it, and that should be plenty to knit this dress. So yeah, miles and miles of stockinette in the round, which is great because you can read, or I can read, while knitting that. Okay, now put all of this back in here so we can get started on the big boxes of things. I need poo. Have you discovered that I'm crazy yet? Because we are about halfway done, if that. So, my 2 big boxes. The first thing that I have planned is the Autumn Affinity by Suzanne Sommer. It is a open front cardigan that is very oversized and flowy with a little bit of a brioche pattern in the back. And the yarn that I have is very different from the pattern. The pattern calls for a sport weight, and sport weight is just something I do not have. I don't have sport weight. So I'm going to use fingering weight. But again, as it's very oversized, I'm just going to select a size that I think will be okay. And what I will do for this pattern, I'm going to start out with the light gray, which is Travel Knitter Silky Merino, and do the top of the sweater. I'm going to take the pattern out so I can tell you, I can show you what I'm talking about. So what she does, she starts in one color and fades it all the way down to another color and uses a different color for the cuffs. And I will do a very similar thing. So my plan is I'm going to start with the light gray, then I'm going to go to probably these or these, I'm not sure yet, and fade those down to the dark gray here. That's a Wollmeise skein. All of these are spin cycle yarns dyed in the wool. And this one here is the one single skein of tealy black that I have. I will use this for the cuffs and the ribbing that goes all the way around. I'm not sure if this will work, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make it work somehow because this is what I have. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to select a size smaller, bigger, because my yarn is a bit smaller. But also this is so oversized that I probably can just go for my size and use a needle that I'm comfortable with this size yarn or with this yarn weight. and it will work out because, like I said, it's an oversized sweater. So 5 inches, 10 inches, who cares? It's oversized. Then another pattern that I cannot show you anything because this is what the pattern looks like. It is the Afloat in Red. It's another Vera Välimäki pattern, and it is from her book Wheel of Color. Is the German, the English name of it. She published it in Finnish first. So, and the actual pattern, if you search for Afloat in Red, you cannot find it. It has the Finnish name that has a lot of, I do not know how to say it. And I can't spell it either. So what it is a DK weight sweater. Open front, very, not super oversized, but you know, just it's a throw-on cardigan with pockets. And I'm going to do this out of DK weight yarn, but it's going to be super stripy because I selected all of these. These are all the luxury yarns that I have in my stash, and I selected or bought these skeins on different trips, just single skeins of yarn for like souvenir yarn. So I have these two skeins down here. They are Yak merino yarn from Lang Yarns. Then I have two skeins alpaca silk from Austermann. Over here, these two are hand spun cashmere that my husband brought me back from Sydney. The small one in here, I think, is a Road to China. No, it's not. This is Road to China, and this is. I have no idea what this is. This up here is Blue Sky Alpacas, and this here is a sample skein from Fair Alpaca, which is a German company. So this all of this has roughly the same weight. So this will be a stripy Afloat in Red. It's probably going to be very ugly because these do not really go together. But honestly, I just had no idea what to do with these single skeins, and I cannot knit 5 million pairs of fingerless mitts. So this will be a cardigan. It's probably going to be worn around the house most of the time, but it's going to be very luxurious, very soft, very cuddly. So yeah, this is what I have planned for it. Then a pattern that I did not bring. I have this yarn. It's 4 skeins of hand-dyed yarn from Strick Lillys Bunte Wolle. She's a German indie dyer, and I think she only sells her stuff on Facebook, which I don't understand really because I'm not on Facebook. But I got these at a knitting retreat where she did vend. So I got 4 skeins of this yarn, and I'm going to knit another Joji Locatelli pattern, and it is called East or West. It's from Interpretations book number 4, and it is the perfect colors. It is the perfect amount of yarn. It's the perfect weight. So this is going to be easy because I just can knit the size that I need and don't have to think about anything. Then in here, I have the yarn for another version for the Ravello sweater that I showed first. And this is super nice. This skein I bought, and the other ones were a gift from my friend Sandra from Kunte Bunte Wolle. She had knit a sweater for herself, and these are her leftovers. And she thought that I could probably use them, and she was very right because I just had bought this skein of yarn, and it is the exact same yarn base. The base is, what is it? It is, I have to open it up. I can't read it. The base is a 50% yak and 50% silk. So I have this one skein that I bought from a German hand dyer, and she does natural dye. She natural dyes all of her things, and the other ones are leftovers, like I said, from my friend Sandra, and it's the same yarn, the same base, and I'm going to do a 4-color Ravello with this. I'm probably going to have the dusty pink to go on my face, do some striping with these 2 colors, and then the brown for the bottom, or something similar. But this was my first plan for the Ravello, and I'm gonna knit this second because I want to do the other one first now. The next thing on my list is the Stripes Gone Crazy by Atelier Alpha. That's, I think, the name. Yes, it's Atelier Alpha. It is another fingering weight sweater because, you know, I must be really crazy. Why don't I plan bulky weight things? So here it is. It's the Stripes Gone Crazy. And my yarn is this here. It is all German hand dyed. This is another one from Marion Kade, one I showed just now. And all the other ones are from Meereswolle. She's an indie dyer up north in Germany. And the yarn base is the exact same for all of these. And it is, where does it say what it is? It's a wool and rami blend. So it's wool and rami is a plant-based fiber. So yeah, this is going to be my Stripes Gone Crazy. I had the 4 colorful skeins already in my stash, and I got the 3 black ones specifically to knit this sweater. And I think it's going to be amazing. And because of the rami content, it's going to be not too warm, so it's going to be a nice sweater for probably late summer. I have 2 more in this box. Next I have the Charleston Tea. It's a pattern by Baby Cocktails, who's Thea Coleman, and I got this pattern gifted from my friend Grace some time ago now. It looks like this. You can't really tell because it's very small, but it is a hoodie and it has some cable pattern in the back. It's a sport weight pattern, and I have exactly 1 sport weight sweater quantity in my stash, and that is this one here. It's Collinet Chitterbug, and you could use this for socks. I originally bought the yarn for socks, and then they changed their put up for the skeins and had all the smaller skeins on sale. So I got these 6 skeins from them, and I do not know, the colorway is Copper Beach, and it is just different browns with a bit of red in it. And I think this will be a beautiful, beautiful hoodie. So this is what I have paired for this. And then another set of yarn where I did not bring the pattern. I have these 4 skeins of Wollmeise blend, which is for sport weight. And this is the second sport weight thing that I specifically got for this cardigan. I want to knit the Blue Sands cardigan by La Maison de Lily. I think that's how you say it. And it is a sport weight cardigan. Like I said, it's shape-wise very, very much like the Afloat in Red. It's a bit oversized. It is an open front cardigan with pockets, and you need 3 different colors, and I have 3 different colors. I think this is Zartbitter, which is dark chocolate. It's a German word for dark chocolate. Then this is what is it? ORH negative. It's a blood type. And this here is Saffron. So these, another brown with red and yellow sweater. Seems to be the ones I have most of in these colors. So yes, that was this box. Now I have to get rid of this box somehow. How am I going to do this? Oof. Okay, yarn is very heavy. Okay, and now the last box. I'm in the last box now, which is the fullest. I have on top another Justina Larkowska pattern. I really like her style. I like her patterns a lot. I'm going to have a class with her at Woolen in Dublin in May, and I very much look forward to it. So this here is the Familiar. It is a short sleeve cardigan with a hood out of fingering weight yarn for a change, you know, some fingering weight. And I have 3 skeins of Knitter's Nightmare selected for this. The colorway is Forest Spirits, and Knitter's Nightmare is dyed by my friend Sadie, who has the Yarn War podcast. And this is another green and brown speckle variegated yarn. But I know that it is variegated, but also she used variegated for her sample, as you can see. So I think this is going to be really nice. And also it's very different construction-wise. I look forward to this a lot. And I do have enough yarn, and I have the exact same weight. So this is going to be perfect. Then the latest thing that I put together It's the Sunset Highway sweater by Caitlin Hunter that, you know, everyone is knitting or has already knit. And this is my version. You originally need 3 contrast yarns, but I only found 2 that I liked. So I'm going to go with 2 and I'm going to make this work. I have 3 skeins of the main color and it's half Ireland yarn. And the colorway name is Woodland. And it is a speckled yarn with orange and green and brown and blue speckles. So what I selected for the contrast yarns is a skein of turtle pearl yarns in Girl on Fire. This is orange, and the green up here is Fiber Spates BFL silk sock yarn in the forest colorway. So I think this will be super amazing. And what I'm going to do, so up here for the yoke, you use the dark is contrast color 1. Then you use contrast color 2 for the big drops and contrast color 3 for the smaller chevron-y. So I'm going to do this contrast color 1 will be my green yarn. Then the big drops will be my main yarn. And the smaller chevron things will be the orange. And I'm also going to do the orange and the green on the sleeves. So I think this is going to work out. And I've seen some people on Instagram who did it in a similar way because they only use 2 contrast colors. So I have enough yarn. I have the exact same weight. The yarns are different from each other. They're all fingering weight, but this is a very different blend than the other ones. So this, like I said, is a BFL silk, maybe even cashmere stuff. This is 100% merino, and this is a normal 75-25 sock yarn. No, it's not. It's 100% superwash merino. So, okay. It's going to be nice. I really look forward to this. So, now, what's next? Let's grab this one. I have a small bag in here, and this is for the last pattern from the Interweave magazine. And I'm going to show you in the magazine because my black and white picture doesn't really show anything. Here it is. It is this little t-shirt thing, short sleeve sweater with a beautiful Peter Pan collar. When I first got this, my style was very different and I was like, but now I absolutely love it. So my style seemed to have changed a lot over the last few years. And for this, I'm going to use 2 skeins of Malabrigo sock in the Indicita colorway. And for the collar, I have a little itty bitty leftover. It's another Malabrigo sock. No idea what the colorway is, but I did knit a pair of socks out of this before. So it should be enough for the collar. This is a bit, I'm a bit short on yarn for this. I should have more, but not enough more to justify getting into one of my 3 skein quantities. So I'm just gonna have to make it work somehow. I'm probably going to knit the sweater itself from the bottom up in the round because they knit it in pieces, which I will not do. I will knit this sweater in the round from the bottom up and finish the whole front and everything and do the collar, and everything that I have left yarn wise will go in the sleeves, and I'm going to do those top down with a short row shaped sleeve cap and just knit until I run out of yarn. And you know, if I run out with just a little half sleeve, that's going to be it. So I think this is gonna work out one way or another and just have a bit shorter sleeves or no sleeves at all. We'll see. Then next is the Pavement by Vera Valmaki. You can't see the sweater, so I'm gonna take it out. It's another stockinette stitch fingering weight sweater that has a bit of a different shape because it has a curved hem. This is what it looks like. I have yarn selected from Yarn Inc. that I got in a sale some years ago from her. And I got 3 skeins from a 5 skein thing that she had up. And my 3 skeins are very different in intensity. As you can see, this one is different from these 2. So I'm not sure yet if I'm just gonna try to do a fade with the same yarn, you know, just start with the lightest and go to the darkest, because that would be easiest. Because I don't like having to change my yarn every other row because it's taking up a lot more brain power, and I want to knit this as a brainless project. So I think I'm just going to start with the lightest and go to this and then to that. Not sure yet, but I have enough of the yarn, so this shouldn't be a problem to make. Next thing is the Sunny Side Up. It's another pattern by Isabel Crema, and it is another yarn from my friend Sandra from Kunte Bunte Wolle, and I have these two skeins for it. Again, I'm a bit short on yarn, but this I looked at the pattern and I'm pretty sure it's a top-down sweater, so it's just going to be a bit shorter. Who cares? It's going to work. You know, it's just like not even 50 yards that I'm short, I think. So yeah, it's going to be 5 centimeters shorter in the end. It's okay. It does not justify to get a third skein of yarn for me. So this is going to be that. And I want to make this relatively soon because, you know, it's a summer garment. So this should be on the needles hopefully soon. Then I have the Linie 1 sweater, which is a weird name, but the sweater is really nice. I was looking for 2 colored sweaters on Ravelry. I use the advanced search a lot. And I searched for fingering weight yarn sweaters that use 2 colors, and I came up with this one. And I really like the sweater. I think it's a gorgeous sweater. And this is the yarn. This is my hand spun, and the other 3 skeins are again from my friend Sandra from Kunte Bunte Wolle. And I asked her to dye gray yarn to go with this, and she did. So this is going to be that sweater, and I have the right weight and the correct amount. So this shouldn't be hard to do. And also the fun thing is her sample is yellow and gray as well. So, you know, I almost know what it's going to look like in the end. Everything in this box is fingering weight. I must be crazy. So another Vera Välimäki pattern is the Still Light Tunic. And this has been out for years, and I really have liked it for years. So I'm finally going to knit it. This is the pattern. It has big pockets, and it is, like I said, a tunic. And I'm going to do another fade with this, and I found these 5 skeins that are all burgundy based, I'd say. So this is from a German dyer called Zauberwiese. This is hedgehog yarn, another Zauberwiese. This is skein yarn. No, this is skein yarn, and this here is, what is this? I have actually no idea what this is. I can't see the label. But yeah, I have these 5 different skeins, and I think they go great together. And yardage-wise, I should have enough, because 5 skeins of fingering weight yarn give you about 2,000 yards. And that's plenty for a sweater, even if it's a longer tunic. And, you know, it only has 3/4 length sleeves, so I'm looking forward to this, actually. It's going to be miles and miles of stockinette, but I enjoy knitting stockinette lately because I can, like I said before, I can read while knitting stockinette around. Then, next up, I have the Messeline by Bristol Ivy. It's a oversized fingering weight sweater with a bit of a cable pattern. And again, I have yarn from my friend Sandra from Kunte Bunte Wolle. And this is something that she specifically dyed for me because I asked her to. And it is a merino cashmere blend that is super nice and soft. And just, wow. This sweater will be very, very, very cozy and cuddly, but also it will pill like crazy. So this is the yarn that I have selected. It's 5 skeins of this yarn, and it's, you know, different shades of golden yellows, greens, dark greens, and browns. We're almost done. Then I have a flex light on the needles right now, and I have my second flex light planned in here. And this is my first ever fade that I put together from my stash. This is a skein of Sunshine yarns. It was from a club of hers. This is Knitter's Nightmare from Sadie. This is Savvy skeins. And the last yarn in this thing is another Sunshine yarns. And these really go together awesome. They really flow together. I hope this is going to be a beautiful sweater. So this is going to be the next flex light on my needles as soon as I finish the one that I have on the needles right now, because I'm knitting on that every evening while reading, and it's just the perfect. It grows without really noticing that I'm working on it. So this is going to be another flex light for myself. Then next up is the Sock Arms pattern by Stephanie Lotwin, and she uses speckled or semi-solid yarn for the body and self-striping sock yarn for the sleeves. And I need for my size, I need 2 skeins of the main yarn and one. I actually would need 2 skeins for the sleeves, but I don't have 2 skeins of self-striping sock yarn in any color. But it's not going to be a problem because I read the pattern. The body is knit from the bottom up and the sleeves are knit from the top down. So, you know, short sleeves it is, or 3/4 length sleeves in my case probably. And in here I have everything, needles and stuff ready to go. So I'm not sure if I can show you, but yeah, I can. So this yarn here is Julie Spins, and I'm going to use this for all the ribbing on the whole sweater. These 2 skeins are Doppio from, who's the dyer? I don't remember the dyer, but I'm not sure if she's still in business. But these 2 skeins are going to be the main body, and this skein up here is Friday Studios, and this will be my sleeves. And as I really enjoyed putting together this yarn for this sweater, I have 2 more versions. So this is the brown and purpley blue version, and I have 2 more versions that are quite different. Next up is this brown, red, black tweed yarn that I have for the main body. It's Countess Ablaze, and the self-striping is from Sunset Stitches. I was in Sunset Stitches clubs for a long time, and she hasn't died in forever, so I'm not sure if she still is in business or not. But this is self-striping, and the colors just match perfectly. And the third version that I have put aside for this sweater is this one here. These 2 skeins, I almost don't dare say it. These 2 skeins are hand-dyed by my friend Sandra from Kunterbunte Wolle. You should check out her shop. And this is my most recent yarn purchase. I got these in January. And this skein of yarn is, like, as you can see, 5 nymph dyeworks. And I thought that this would be perfect for this yarn because this has the yellow and pink and stuff, and it's going to be quite loud and out there for the main body. So the sleeves are just different stripes of teal to tone it down a bit. So this is the third version for the Sock Arms pattern that I have set the yarn aside for. And the last sweater I want to talk to you about is the one where I have to explain the most. So, okay. I have the Velamo by Francesca Hughes. It is from Pom Pom Quarterly. I don't know which one. Does it say here? Yeah, it's autumn 2016. So this is the sweater. And my yarn is this. So I'm going to have to take it out so I can explain to you how this will work together, because this is not at all what the pattern calls for. So this sweater is a chevrony sweater in 3 different colors. So what I have is 4 different colors. What you cannot see in the picture, because it's black and white, the chevrons are in I think a dark blue. The sleeves and between the chevrons here is a lighter blue, and up the collar and one of the chevrons up at the top, and the sleeve hems are in a pink. So what I have for this sweater, I'm going to have to fold it over so I can show you. The dark chevron here is Garter Stitch, and I'm going to use Knit Picks Hawthorne Fingering Graffiti Speckle for what's the dark in this pattern. And I am short on this. So that's the first problem that I have. Another problem that I have, in Between the dark chevrons, the light one is one color. It's stockinette stitch, and it also is used for the sleeves. And I have Wollmeise yarn, but as you can clearly see, this is not the exact same color. It's two different colors. And I cannot tell you what colors they are because they have the old label where it doesn't tell you. They're both Nobody's Perfect skeins, and they are very different. So, but they both really, really, really go very well with this skein of Knit Picks yarn. So what I have decided I'm going to do. Oh, and my third color, the pink from their pattern, is going to be this yellow. This yellow is a lace weight cashmere yarn that I got from eBay. So I'm going to show you all the colors together because I think that they are amazing together. And I think this is going to be a really nice sweater, but I have to do a lot of thinking. So I am going to start the sweater. The sweater is, as you cannot see this, but the sweater is started with a dark garter stitch chevron. I'm going to do the first one in yellow. So that will save me some of my speckled yarn. So the first one is going to be yellow. And then I'm going to start with one skein of Wollmeise. Then I'm going to do the garter. And for the next stockinette stitch, I'm going to do the other Wollmeise. So I'm going to alternate the two skeins of Wollmeise yarn for every stockinette stitch stripe in this sweater. And for the sleeves are knit in garter. And I'm not telling you anything about the pattern because this is stuff that you can see when you look at the sweater. The sleeves are knit garter stitch, and I'm just going to do one rich in this and one rich in this color. And I think it's going to blend together well enough for the sleeves. And also, the sleeves are started with the pink in the original, so I'm going to use yellow. And for the top, I decided to do the front of the pattern first. Normally, when I start a sweater, I do it exactly as it's written because this is just, everything else confuses me. So if it tells you to start with the sleeves, I'm going to start with the sleeves. If it says start with the back, I'm going to start with the back. For this one, I'm going to change things up because I am very short on this yarn, like I said. So I'm going to knit the front first because if I should run out of this, it's going to run out in the back, and I'm going to know before, because I'm going to weigh the skein of yarn before I start and after I finish the front. So what I will do is, if I'm noticing that I'm going to run out, I'm just going to do some of the garter stripes from the chevron in yellow for the back. And it's going to be the way it was meant to be all the time. So yeah, this is the most involved plan that I have right now, because I have to do a lot of thinking. I think it's going to look nice in the end. I really like the colors that I selected, but it would be easier if these two were the same color, but they are not. So I'm just gonna wing it and hope for the best. So yes, that is it. I actually have more sweaters planned and yarns ready to go, but I did not bring those because they're still safely tucked away in my stash. And yeah, my stash is still very big, so I'm crazy. And now I've talked about an hour for my sweater stuff. Yeah. I hope I will have enough time to do my regular, normal podcast tomorrow and talk about the VKN once more. If not, I'm going to announce everything in the Ravelry group, so I hope people will check that. And yeah, that is it. I have no idea when I will get to these because some of those have been planned for years now, but I will get to them eventually. And I'm very much in a sweater mood right now. That helps a lot. So I'm going to probably cast on a new sweater later. I don't know yet. But yeah, let me know what you think. And maybe tell me about your sweater plans or show me things that you want to make. Okay, I think that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful time. I will talk to you hopefully tomorrow, if not anytime soon. And until then, enjoy everything you do. Bye.